Once, in the smallish town of Jasper, Alberta, a very frustrated high school teacher named Mr. Christopher Callahan was teaching his class history. However, Mr. Callahan had a very singular challenge about recanting the history books to a large gathering of senior students. And, despite what you may think, it wasn't the whole racism is history talk. No, Mr. Callahan was struggling with a very specific student whose name was Jose Carrillo, except everybody called him Pep. But that's a story for another time. For now, let's check in with Mr. Callahan.
Whoa, class, hold up. Don't leave just yet. I've marked your historical diary entries. Happy to see you are all relatively era-appropriate with your assignments. Remember, this unit is not over yet. There will be a quiz.
A collective groan from the class.
Yeah, I know. But this is all stuff you've addressed in your fictitious diaries. Go home, read the timeline in your textbooks, and review your notes. You only need to be memorizing the sections on Canada's development in the 1960s. You're free to go now. Jose, would you mind staying behind for a moment? I wanted to talk to you about your diary.
Yeah, I have a couple minutes. What's up?
Jose, could you read this to me out loud, please?
Yeah, I can. The date is January 8th, and the year is 1963. A group of greasers goes to cross the street. They almost get hit by a rich kid's car. One of them, the one that looks like John Travolta, says, "Hey, I'm walking over here." And then all the girls are dressed in like poodle skirts and cardigans, except for the greaser girls, because they're not like the rest of them, because they wear leggings. Everyone is listening to like the Beatles and David Bowie and stuff. None of them have cell phones. They have to communicate by sending letters by passenger pigeon or something. The greasers walk into a diner where they all order milkshakes and sit at the white people booth, which is separate from the people of color booth. And also JFK is still alive, but not for long because he will die on November 22nd. Is there a problem? You didn't mark it.
I didn't mark it because I don't think you took the assignment seriously. Jose, you're a good kid. You're smart. I've read your work, I've seen you participate in class. You have a lot to say, Jose, and I want to hear it. So what's happening? Why'd you turn this in? I know this isn't you.
I don't know. I just did bad, I guess. Can't you just give me a bad grade and we can get it over with?
You know what? No, I won't. I think you deserve a good grade. I think this is something that you can do. Now, why don't you actually tell me what's going on?
Nothing is going on, okay? I just didn't feel like doing the assignment.
Jose, you and I both know that's not...
Okay, please don't call me Jose, okay? Everybody else calls me Pep, so just call me that.
Pep?
It's short for Pepito.
The reason for all this lay in Pep's fascination with language. He had always taken a keen interest with the way words could come together and transform. In fact, he loved language so much that apart from his native Spanish, he could speak English, some French, and as an extra measure, had taken German that same semester. Now, Pep's real name wasn't actually Jose Carrillo, but as mothers are wont to do, Pep's real name was, but as mothers are wont to do, Jose's mother took up the nickname Pepito and applied it lovingly to her second eldest son. This annoyed the young man, but not for the reasons you may think. Pepito commonly is considered a general Spanish nickname for people named Jose, just as Bill is considered a shortened version of William. However, the Jose Pepito issue was a concept which Pep could not stand. And why, you ask?
It's because a nickname is supposed to be shorter than the original name. You can't say a 6-letter word is a nickname for a 4-letter word. So I asked people to say Pep instead. At least then it's really shortened from 4 letters to 3. It makes sense.
Ha ha ha. I agree, Pep. Now will you finally tell me why exactly you hated this assignment so much?
I don't know, it's just, you wanted us to write about history, about the 60s, as if we were kids living in that time in Canada. That's not my history, I wasn't even born here. And besides, man, that era is boring. I couldn't sit there and listen to stupid Andrea Lincox recount Pierre Trudeau's time as Prime Minister.
Now, don't be...
I know, Andrea's not stupid, but you can't tell me she's not annoying. It's all the way she talks with that retainer in her mouth. I swear, as a mind of its own, one day she's going to be talking to me at lunchtime and her entire sandwich is going to come out in bits on my face.
Let's stay on track.
Sorry, I didn't mean it. Andrea's fine, and so is her retainer.
Thank you. Now, what exactly do you mean by it isn't your history?
Well, I don't exactly belong here. My parents emigrated here from Mexico when I was 3. I guess I kind of feel like I don't have a part in all this. So for an assignment like that, where I had to be reminded of something I wasn't, I guess I just caved. I couldn't do it.
Wow. Pep, do you know how old I am?
I'm gonna say over 30.
Ha ha ha. You got that right. Try double that. I'll be 63 this August. I was born in 1956, right here in Canada. I grew up in the 60s, Pep. Now granted, I was a young boy, my memory isn't that what it was, but that was my era. I saw a lot of what we discuss in class. I was there for it. Just because you weren't born here, Pep, doesn't mean you don't belong. I can tell you that with as much finality as I can possibly muster. And in fact, I've got evidence. I was planning on giving these out as readings next week, but I want you to take a look at them with me.
You sure this isn't just some ploy to get you to do the homework ahead of time?
Ha ha ha. It would be foolish to attempt something impossible. Now, if you turn to the 3rd page, what's the title say?
January 1962, Canada's new immigration policy.
That's right. Keep reading.
In 1962, the Canadian government reformed their immigration policy in an attempt to remove any racial discrimination from the system. Following the events of World War II and the Holocaust, the world had become much more sensitive and attuned to the concept of discrimination. Intending to purge their system of immigration policies that promoted overt racial discrimination, Ellen Fairclough, the Minister of Citizenship and Immigration at the time, introduced new policies that could hopefully eliminate all traces of racism embedded within policies. However, this reform was not the perfect, all-inclusive solution quite yet. Canadian citizens were only allowed to sponsor immigrants from Europe, the Americas, and a number of select countries in the Middle East. Despite this, the act was surprisingly radical for its time and would set into motion plans to eliminate racial discrimination in the future.
You see now how this is your future? This would be the fight that people of color would fight. Mexicans, African people, Chinese people, not only in Canada, but globally. Your fight with Canada is history. You may think that not being born here separates you from the rest of us, but that's not true. You have a special perspective of someone who has made it past years of systemized racism, hate, and ignorance and found your way here to a place that you have every right to call home. Do you understand me?
Yeah, I understand.
Now, about the assignment.
You said you lived through the 60s? You said you saw some of the stuff we talked about. You know what it was like, especially having been young then.
Yeah, what exactly are you asking?
Tell me about it.
As Mr. Callahan recounted his tales of youth to the young Pepito, he found himself generously embellishing a few tales and balking on a couple of others. Perhaps it was best not to mention the drunken joy rides born of a thrill-seeking teenager's mind. Young adults were still, after all, quite impressionable. But it offered him the chance to reminisce on an era he had thought as far away into the past that it had all but disappeared. He would soon find that that was not the case, as Pep hung on to every word and laughed at all the correct moments. Even a couple of extra ones, too. And as the sun commenced his descent, it was the shadows it cast on the classroom wall that finally broke Mr. Callahan back into the present.
Wow, look at the time. I apologize, I never meant to keep you this long.
Oh, no, it's fine. My sister's done soccer practice in a bit, and she usually drives home. I'll just catch her right with her.
Good. Now about that assignment, I'd like you to give it another try.
All right. I'll have it for you by tomorrow.
Thank you. On account of your, let's call it botched try the first time, I would like to assign something extra.
Ugh.
But I promise, it'll be painless. I want you to give these bands a listen. just to set you in the right mood for the assignment.
The Monkees, Chubby Checker, Aretha Franklin, the Rolling Stones, Bob Dylan, and the Beatles. Mr. Callahan, I know who the Beatles are, okay?
Ha ha ha. Oh, I have no doubt of that. But you should know the Beatles that I grew up with. That's all you have to do. Just listen to some of this.
All right, I'll listen to it. I promise, okay?
Ha ha ha. Okay. We should get going. I'll see you on that assignment tomorrow.
Will do. And Mr. Callahan?
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Anytime, happy.
That night, Mr. Christopher Callahan returned to his home to his husband, Carson Croft. The two had met long ago in university, where they had initially gotten along because they both had a first and last name that started with C. It was for that exact reason that Carson had kept his own last name. Christopher often made the joke that it had been written in the stars that they were meant to be together. Carson, ever the romantic, had always agreed. Christopher, having lost track of time, arrived home later than anticipated, and despite Carson's busy schedule at the accounting firm, he had prepared dinner and kept it warm for his steps.
You're home quite late.
Oh, I know, I'm sorry. Got caught up with a student, but I think we really understand each other. Something clicked. I'm quite excited to see where it goes.
Oh yeah, tell me more. Dinner's on the stove, by the way. Should still be hot.
Thanks. What would I do without you?
You mean other than crash and burn?
I don't know what it was, but it was like something clicked today for me and the boy. He's extremely intelligent. I'm honestly shocked. I think I can pretty safely look forward to seeing what he comes up with next.
That's great news. I'm happy for you, honey.
Yeah, it just makes me feel so old.
Don't we all? But don't you think it's worth it to see kids get it? Especially like today. I think so.
Yeah, I think so too.
The next morning, Mr. Callahan took the seat at the front of his class just as he did every day. He covered the American Revolution in the first period and World War I in the next. Between classes, he had been hoping to catch a glimpse of Pep sneaking in to submit the promised assignment, but it was in vain. The boy was not to be seen. So lunch rolled around, and Mr. Callahan enjoyed some warmed-up soup with the staff. He read Ernest Hemingway as he ate. The Sun Also Rises was one of his favorite books. And he had a wonderful chat with Miss Dubois about the best kind of fertilizer for his rhododendrons. And then, when he returned to his classroom early in the hopes of doing some marking before his next class of the day was there, he found a piece of white-lined, slightly crumpled paper on his desk. It read as follows.
Dear Mr. Callahan, I'm sorry, I just couldn't do it. But before you think that I wrote this letter full of excuses, please let me explain. I promise you I tried. I sat down and rewrote the thing nearly 12 times. I even put on the music you recommended to me. And I tried to get in the mindset of some retro ragamuffin teen opening glass bottles of Coke in the back of my dad's 68 Dodge Charger. But I couldn't. Everything I wrote came out all formless and wrong, like cardboard sabotaged by the wet glue holding it together. So instead of beating my head against my desk, I started thinking about what you said about how this is my history, even though I might not think so. And I'm starting to see that now, but I also thought about the other saying, you know, the one, history repeats itself. I don't want that. I don't want to have to fight the exact same fight my family did in 1960, and I know I don't want my kids to either. Maybe that's the key. Maybe that's why I can't do this. Because I'm tired of being told that it's my generation's turn to change the world next when I haven't even seen it. You're right to say that I have as much a part in the stuff we study as everybody else, but it's called history for a reason. We're supposed to learn from it, not do the same things and circle back all over again. So I guess I'm submitting whatever this is instead. Not a journal entry from an adolescent circa 1963, but a letter from a 21st century student sending his regards to the past. I'm not saying we should forget it all and never look back. I'm just saying I think it's high time I take a look at what's in front of me and care about it for once. Sincerely, Jose Pep Carrillo.
Once he was done reading the letter, Mr. Callahan took his favorite brass pen from his shirt pocket. Carson had given it to him for his 60th birthday. He smoothed out the slightly rumpled sides of the letter and wrote in wavy, slightly messy script.
A minus. Haha, you did good.
The end.